All right, so now let's say you've written your content. All right, everything is done with that step, and you have, for example, a article here that I'm not, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to just use an article that I've written in the past, and it's about 3 pages, single spaced, and we'll use this as an example, and we'll go through all the steps of the actual branding, creating the logo, book cover, and actually converting it to a PDF that you can upload to the Amazon Marketplace. So first things first, we're going to go through the logo and the book cover. Again, there's two ways you can do it. If you want to minimize your costs, you can do it yourself, or you can outsource it. And I will actually go through the specific steps of doing it yourself on Google Drive because not everyone has access to Photoshop. But first things first, let's just discuss the outsourcing option. All right. So for outsourcing, there's two places that I usually go. And the first one is called Fiverr. And essentially every service that you hire someone to do on this site is going to be $5. And the service is actually called a gig. So if we just go to Fiverr, we just type in ebook cover, we'll get a bunch of people that are offering to create an ebook. So usually, recommended and new is probably not the best filter. It does start on high rating, so that's probably what I would stick with. But one of the drawbacks of going with people with the high rating is the fact that they have back orders. So it might take like a week for them to actually get through all the orders and get to your order. So let's just click into one of these. It's really annoying me. All right, so Pro ebook covers, 100% positive rating, awesome. Orders in queue 160. So that means she has to get through 160 ebook covers before she gets yours. So if you're looking to launch your ebook quickly, this might not be the best one, but it seems like everybody that's reviewed her, she's done an amazing job. So for $5, waiting, a few days, 6 days, yeah, waiting a week to get your cover isn't that bad. And especially at only a $5 cost, that's pretty good in my opinion. So yeah, Fiverr is definitely one place to go, and probably the most common place. I actually get ebook covers from here all the time. The second place, if you're looking for a higher quality cover, let's say you're truly building a brand out of this. Like if I was to make something for Ready Set Go, and I thought that this was an ebook that was directly associated with my Sam Ready Set Go, all of my personal things. If that was the case, I would probably not want to go with the Fiverr gig. I would want the designs, I would want the Photoshop templates, I would want all the branding stuff, and just so I could use it on my blog, use it on videos, use it everywhere. If I'm actually really trying to push this ebook and I want to tie it with myself, I don't want it to be a low quality. So for that, I would go to 99 Designs. And essentially, the way 99 Designs works is it's a competition among multiple freelancers. So you kind of pick the package or the price level you want to spend, and then once you launch your contest, you'll get dozens of designs. All right, so you'll essentially get, if you say this is what I want and this is what's included in my package, you'll get a lot of people that qualify for the silver level on, let's say you pick silver. You'll get 20 people that qualify for the silver level on 99 Designs. They've been vetted by 99 Designs. Say that three times fast. But they'll be vetted, they'll have a high quality, and you'll know exactly what you're getting. So let's say you pick the silver package. You tell them this is for an ebook. I need the branding material and the logo and the design so I can also use it on my blogs, yada, yada, yada. You type all that out. And then they'll all submit, logos, ebook covers, all that stuff for your package. And you go through multiple rounds. So you first get, let's say you get 20 people that have submitted designs. Well, then you pick your top ones. You give them feedback and say, I'd like this type of changes to this. I'd like this type of changes to this logo. And each guy will go out, take your feedback, redesign everything according to your specifications, and then send it back to you. And then you get to finally pick a winner. And only the winner gets paid. So it's kind of in your benefit. You get multiple reiterations or iterations, and you'll get exactly what you want. However, it does cost more. So unless you're, if you're trying to if you're taking the ebook strategy and trying to run, multiple ebooks creating multiple ebooks at a time, and you're really trying to scale it up, this might not be the best because it does extend. If you spend $100 on just the branding, it might not be profitable. That ebook might not actually break even until 6 months down the road. So it kind of depends on how much you want to spend, what's really tied in with the ebook, and you take those factors into account when you do this. But for all other cases, Fiverr is pretty great. For $5 compared to $100, I would most likely choose Fiverr if this book wasn't actually, if my name wasn't actually on the book. So going back to our thing here, that's the two outsourcing options. So now let's talk about creating it yourself. So Google has an awesome product called Google Drive. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wow, might be coming down something. But Google has a great product called Google Drive. All right. And you can actually do drawings on here. So I'm going to create a Google Drive drawing. You just create an account or log in with your Google account. Go to New, More, Google Drawings. And you'll get a blank slate here. So we know that for the main part, Kindle ebooks are, excuse me, they have to be a certain size. So I just quickly Googled what the size has to be for KDP is Kindle Direct Publishing. And this Chris McCullen on his website, nicely, thanks to Chris over here, but he actually posted what the Amazon recommendations are. So I'm actually going to take this 2820 by 4500, and we can go back to Google Drive. And if you go down to page setup, you can actually set in a custom amount. So I believe he said pixels. Yep. So pixels and points are different, but you want to go with pixels for this. And just enter in, just enter in the numbers, and it'll resize your canvas so that it is the size for a Kindle ebook cover. And from here, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So let's actually rename this Kindle ebook cover. And first things first, we'll change the background color. You get a few options. You can also do a custom one if you know the hex code you want. But for the most part, let's go with light blue. Nah, let's go with white. Let's keep it simple. So first things first, we'll give it a title. You just take the little text thing up here, create a little text box, just like a PowerPoint. And then you got to set the font like massive on this. All right, 250. So let's say the topic of our ebook is 5 secrets to I don't really know. Peace of mind and being one with yourself. All right. So that's the topic of our ebook. I feel like I have peace of mind and I'm one with myself, so I want to write an ebook on this. All right. Then I usually go with Lato. I just really, really like the should choose that. Just really like how Lato looks, but you can pretty much pick anything you want here. And then underneath it, we're just going to write, let's extend this a little bit. Underneath it, we're just going to have our name, and we'll make the name a little smaller. Let's do 175 for that. Also italicize it. I think that would look good. All right, so this is going to be our ebook. And that might be looking kind of bland. We need some images. So the one thing that Google Drive does have is, you could just go to Google and search for an image and take it, but you're actually not going to have the licensing, the copyrights for it. So you really don't want to mess with that. If you do end up getting sued or something, that's never a good idea to put your business at risk like that. So we're going to want to go over to what's called Wikipedia Commons. And Wikipedia Commons is pretty much all this media that you can use that someone, whoever owns the copyright for that, is saying, hey, as long as you give me an attribution, you can just use my media. Okay, so I found this cool little image of a bird. And if you're going to use this image, it says use this file on the web. You just click that, and you'll actually get an attribution link that you can put in the comment section or on the introduction of your ebook, and it'll actually be legal. So then you could actually use this image. So I'm going to copy that image. Go, crap, I closed it. Let's go open that back up. So I'm going to copy that image, just copy image, go back over, and I'm just going to paste it. So you get that image on there, and then we're just going to resize this to be the length of our ebook. So first things first, obviously we see there's a little gap here. This image doesn't fit perfectly. So what you do is if you actually double click on an image, you can actually crop it right on the spot. So if you double click, you see that little black outline that comes up, you can actually move that a bit. So we're going to move that. And essentially what that does, oops, let's try that again. So what that did was it actually hid this part of the image. So then we close out of that, and then we can drag again. So now I made this side too small. So now we just drag it back over until it's perfectly centered. Boom. Now we have an image as our ebook cover. And obviously now this is above our text. What you have to do is there's actually, I don't know where it is in the options. I actually use the keyboard shortcuts, but essentially if you push Control down arrow on this, it'll go to the back. So now this text is now in front. So if we were to highlight the text and push Control down, it would go behind the image. But Control up brings it back forward. So now that we have this, we'll just change the font to white. Boom. So we're done. And then you can just go file, download as JPEG or PNG, and then you can go upload it to the Kindle Marketplace or put it at the beginning of your book. So obviously this isn't, a super cool looking ebook cover. I made this in, but how long did that take me? It was about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes maybe. So, rather than spending $5, you can always do this. But if you don't even want to do this, Fiverr is a great option. And if you actually have an existing business or a brand that you want to tie this with and you want something really, really nice, 99 Designs is probably the way to go. So now that we have that, we'll just download that and we are done. So now let's go back to our PowerPoint. All right, so now to part 2. And I'm going to bring over my Word document and we'll get into actually cleaning up our text in Word and converting it to a PDF. So let's bring over the Word document. And I'm going to size this up. All right, so this is the article, 5 easy ways to save money while traveling. And I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see everything here. And the first thing, as you can see, I just pretty much wrote it, didn't even spend too much time formatting it. So I'm going to shut up for a bit and probably just spend most of my time doing this. And I will talk when I'm trying to give you guys notes or something. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to go through here real quick. So by Sam Ready, and we're going to center this and make this huge because that'll be on the first page. Make my name a little smaller. Boom. Now, we don't want anything else on this page. Zoom out a bit more. Let's get all that. There we go. Okay. So everything is on that page. Crap. Save money while traveling. That looks fine. All right, delete all this white space. All right. So this probably should use a longer introduction. Again, this is an article that I was just going to publish on a blog, but I think it works well for this purpose. So don't take a taxi from the airport. Screw it. I'm not going to worry about capitalizing that. All right, so remember again, it's going to be, each chapter is going to start on a new page. Okay, so we only want one chapter per page. So let me actually go back. This is going to screw up everything, but double space this. Let's not double space that. Well, not the title at least. Cool. Add introduction title. There's chapter 1. Chapter 2. Alright. You know what? I'm actually going to add nice little chapter headings here. Chapter 2. Let's put chapter 3 on its own page. Chapter 4. Boom. Alright. Keep track of the time here. Let's see how long this actually takes. And chapter 5. Alright, so now we got everything out there, and that 3-page single-spaced article now turned into a 7-page ebook. And we can actually add a little bit more here. Obviously, the introduction needs a little bit of work, but before the introduction, one cool thing we should probably add is a table of contents. And here we can just do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. Oops. Copy and paste all this up there. Three. Chapter 4. And then chapter 5. Oops. Boom. Let's delete these extra spaces. And everything looks pretty good. So then the last thing, oops, exit out of this real quick. All right, let's bring that back up. All right, so now we have, that's 8 pages worth of content. Not too bad. And let's make table of contents a little bigger here. And we'll underline it. Boom, done. All right. Now, let's see. Okay, so now we can go to insert. And what we're going to do, maybe page layout. Well, if you can't find it up here, like I just can't right now for some reason, if you actually go to the bottom of the page and double click, it'll bring in a footer. And with the footer, what we'll do, wow, there we go. So once you click in the footer, it'll actually bring up a few options. We're going to add a page number at the bottom of the page and to the left. And then we're just going to write, we'll click tab a few times. Let's delete that, actually. Let's add a page number to the right. And then we're going to do that. And we'll do samready at www.readysetgo.com. just because I do want to have a little branding. We'll actually just say for more information, visit www.readysetgo.com. And that way, every time they're reading, they'll be like, oh, that's probably his blog. And they'll actually go there and take a look at it. So, boom, there we go. That's a quick way to turn everything into an 8-page ebook. Looks pretty decent. And the way you'd save this for Amazon is essentially you would go to Save As, and you'd want to save as a PDF document. All right, so that's about it for this, guys. Yeah, and after this, you can, once you have this done, you'll actually be able to then upload this separately within Amazon, and you'll now have two different things that you upload. So first, your PDF document with the actual content of the ebook, and second would be the actual cover itself. So, again, if you're not interested in doing all these steps yourself, there are other services on Fiverr that will actually format your ebook and do all that for you. But again, it took all of maybe 10 minutes. So I highly recommend just trying to learn it yourself and saving the cost, because again, that's, for $3 ebook, you're going to have to again sell two of them to kind of make up the cost of actually investing in this. So, it's always up to you, but really hope that helped kind of give you an insight into what I do to polish my ebooks.